Welcome, everyone, to the fourth episode, the final episode of the first month of the Doghouse. Welcome. It is your host, J-Rod, and host...
J-Dawg.
Yes. So, what's been going on? There's a few things on my mind. We had a conversation earlier that I kind of wanted to go over on camera at training. And then also, you sent me a quote today or yesterday that I think it would be good to go over.
Yeah, I have that in my notes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then the rival thing.
Yeah.
The rival thing.
I wanted to get... I have some stories.
Yeah.
That's why
you do?
I asked.
Okay,
I got
cool,
some stories.
cool.
I got some stories.
Yeah. All right, where should we start?
I guess let's start. I kind of want to start with my story.
Okay.
So then I tell the story, then we'll get into the whole philosophy behind it. But I watched a movie. I'm not gonna say a movie yet. I'll save that for this next section. But it had to do with rivalries, and so I was thinking, what kind of rivalries did I have back in the day? Like, hold on, let me turn my phone off, dude. My Instagram's been doing this thing where
you're famous.
Yeah, it's been doing the famous thing, but like it won't notify me for every notification I have until recently. Like every it'll just keep notifying me. You
don't have all your notifications turned off?
I do now.
Oh,
But I did it for like 3 hours and anyway, I'm famous. But so yeah, I was like, did I have any rivalries growing up in high school and stuff? And because I was like, I don't really have any in jiu-jitsu. I kind of wish I did, but I don't right now.
Yeah.
So if you want to start beef, just tag me in a comment.
Say he's short.
Yeah, just say I'm short. That'll get me going real fast. But I was like, yeah, in high school, I had this kid. His name was Quinn Devaney was his name. He wrestled out of Maryland. He was my rivalry for sure. And that one was like a real rivalry. Because I look back when I was like, man, we would go back. And he'd always beat me more times than I'd beat him. But he'd like beat me twice, I'd beat him once. He'd beat me twice, I'd beat him once. Like that's how it always went. I remember specifically that our rivalry started back in like middle school.
Oh, wow.
All the way through my senior year in high school.
Wow. That is a long. You guys were same year.
Yes.
Wow.
Same year, everything. He wrestled for a team called the Junior Terps, which I got to wrestle. You know Aaron Brooks from Penn State? He's like 3 times play champ right now.
Yeah.
I beat him in middle school. But when he wrestled for the Junior Terps, I beat him. And so I'd either wrestle Aaron Brooks at the time or I'd wrestle Quinn Devaney. And we'd always go back and forth all the way up to high school. And I remember we'd go back and forth, but it would always be 1 or 2 point matches. Always. And there was one year at a tournament called Virginia Duels, which is a big duel tournament. Went against Quinn Devaney. What school was he? McDonough. It was a private school out in Maryland. And he like mopped me pretty good. It was like 8-1.
Oh, wow.
Which was like, that never happened with him and I.
Yeah.
And it drove me nuts to the point where I was always a little hothead when I'd lose a match. Because I didn't lose often. So when I lost, it really bothered me. I'm way better with that now. But after I lost to Quinn Devaney, I went behind these black curtains, and I'm just furious. And I see these stack of chairs. I'm like, perfect. Like, walk over. I've never done this before, dude. And I grab a chair and just sling it. Just grab a chair and just launch it against the wall.
Just one at a time.
Yeah, just one. I was like, boom. And my coach was like, Josh, like stop. I was like, you're gonna get in trouble. Blah, blah. I was so pissed. I was like, we've always been 1-2 points. Like, how did he beat me this bad? Like, what am I doing wrong? Blah, blah. I was so pissed. And
you get like back points or something?
He did catch me with back points that were a little cheesy. I went for a Granby, and he kind of stuck me on my shoulders for like 2 seconds. Okay. They got a quick swipe, and I kept going through, and it was back. It was a little cheesy, but still, all the other points were pretty legit.
Yeah.
And so at that tournament, he beat me up pretty bad. And by then, we've had multiple matches, right? Yeah. And the last time I ever went against him, I beat him.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you got the final lap.
It was my senior year, I think. Junior or senior year, I was at a national tournament called NHSCA's. And I was, the previous year, I had made it to the finals. And lost in the finals to a New Jersey kid from Don Bosco. And so the next year coming in, I was like the 3 seed for this big national tournament, and I lost first round to a 2-time Maryland state champ, stud. Lost to him first round. I was like, fuck. And this bracket has like 200 people in it, so I knew I was like, I have to wrestle back. Yeah. And so I was thankful for my coach at the time, Mark Strickland, dude. Like, he always kept you locked in when you needed to be. So I lost. Wrestled back about 10 matches. It was a 3-day tournament.
Fuck.
Yeah, wrestled 10 matches to make it into All-American rounds.
Yeah.
And my last 3 matches all went into overtime.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. It was a kid named Avery Shea from Don Bosco, New Jersey. He was a New Jersey State placer. Beat him in overtime. Beat this other kid in overtime. And I thought I was done, right? Mm-hmm. I thought I was done with the day. I was like, I made it to All-American rounds. I took my shoes off. I was leaving the building. And my coach was like, you got one more match. Wow. And I was like, you're kidding me. He goes, no, you have one more match. And the whole fucking building's empty. Yeah. There's 32 mats. They're all empty. There's like a few mats going. So you got to go. I'm like, who do I got? You got Quinn Devaney. And I was like, fuck. It's like, Quinn Devaney's like, damn it. Like, this is another barn burner. I knew it was going to be a barn burner. Win the overtime with him. Beat him in overtime. Yeah. Beat him in overtime. Rode him out for the win. Fuck. The last time I ever saw Quinn Devaney. Yeah. Beat him. And I was like, man, that was a hell of a rivalry. Like, that kid. But,
fuck, that's wild.
Yep.
You ever wondered, like, where he's at now?
I've actually I talked to him like 2 years. I think he went on to wrestle at Maryland University. Okay. But actually, I kind of, before I get to that, I left out a pretty cool part of that story. Mm-hmm. But I wrestled all the way back for 5th and 6th and wrestled the kid that beat me first round and beat him in overtime.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Wow.
And you want to talk about, like, that was probably the most, like, Cinderella story tournament I've ever had in my life.
That's crazy, yeah.
Like, it was a big tournament, a big recruiting tournament. Yeah. And this guy who was not supposed to beat me on paper beats me first round, like 5-1.
You fucking come on.
I go through the ringer to get back. Lost the match to go for 3rd and 4th to a stud who ended up taking 3rd. Dropped down for 5th and 6th. I'm watching the guy from Maryland win. I was like, I have him. Yeah. And my coach is like, let's get him. Yeah. And went into the match, went into overtime with him again. I was beat up after that tournament.
That's wild.
And I remember specifically to this day, it's my most favorite moment of any wrestling tournament I've ever gone to. But I'm like, all right, the whole match surrounded with like college coaches. Everyone's watching. They knew who I was at the time. They knew who the other kid was. Yeah. And they knew, like, this is the kid that beat him first round. We're going to overtime. And it came down to 30-second ride out. I got up off bottom, and all I had to do was ride him out for 30 seconds. And I wasn't a big top guy. Yeah. So I was like, fuck, okay. And I look over at my coach, and he looks at me, and he, like, grits his teeth and points to his head. He goes, you can't be beaten. Yeah. Like that. And I look at him, just like, you're fucking right, dude. I go in there, boom, I just latch on that motherfucker. I'm like a fucking, like that monkey in the back of that dog's back. Just rolling, dude. I'm just like, 3, 2, 1, boom. Yeah.
Fuck. That's a good feeling.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite tournament of my life.
I got chills listening to that.
Yeah. It was ever since that day, dude, I was like, God, I love this shit, dude.
That's good. Yeah. How many matches did you have in that one weekend?
Like 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was rough, dude. It was rough. When I lost that first round, I was like, all right, we're in it.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're in it. Yep.
That like doubles. It feels like it doubles the
matches.
Yeah,
dude. When I took 5th, it felt like I accomplished more than taking first.
Yeah. Like you've been through way more.
Way more. Yeah. I had to beat way more people. I had to beat way more bigger names. Yeah. I was more excited winning 5th place in that tournament than I had been making it to the finals in another national tournament. It was awesome.
That's wild. Wow.
But yeah, Rivalry.
Yes.
That was good.
My wrestling was not that extensive.
That's just one story. They weren't all like that.
That's crazy though. Yeah. The only rivalry I can really think. We were talking about this a little bit earlier, but I never had, like, it was always like I'm beating the fuck out of people or I'm like losing like close matches. Yeah. And it was never really like multiple matches back and forth with the same guy. It was like the only thing I can really think of is there's a guy that beat me my sophomore year. I was in region finals and he beat me by like more than I usually lose. It was probably like 6-2 or something. And I was like, fucking. I mean, I was surprised that I made it to finals as a fucking sophomore, because where I'm from, like no one even makes it to the finals. But regardless, I lose to him, and then the next year, I have a match against him again, and I ended up losing by maybe it was like 4-2 or something. And I was just like, fuck, I'm like right there with this fucking guy. And the first year that I fought him, he ended up, he was a runner-up at States. He made it all the way to the finals at States. I think I went like 2-2. Or no, sophomore year, I was like, sophomore year, I was 0-2 at States. I was like, terrible seating. Yeah. Just got fucking ragdolled. And then junior year, I go 2-2 in States. He like kind of lost like a little bit of his like, I don't know, like he took second, and then it looked like he almost didn't want it as much. Because I remember like how tired he got in our second match, and it was just like, I don't know, it's just different. Like he didn't want it as bad. Yeah, you just feel it. Yeah, but yeah, he beat me twice. Oh, and I told you this, and that I guess that was like an 0-2 rivalry against him. But a few years later, I was training in Jersey and training jiu-jitsu in Jersey, and he came to the same training session that I did back home, and we like said, "Hey, what's up?" And then we trained, and I submitted him. I was very I was reminiscent of all my losses that day, but yeah, it was a good feeling. Yeah, good feeling. Redemption. Yeah. What else?
So that brings me into a question that I wanted to bring up, and it was based off this quote I have. Hold on, I have to let my phone reboot.
Yes.
Give me a second,
Too
guys.
famous.
Too famous. My phone's been buzzing. I had to turn my freaking phone off. I could just turn off notifications, but I wasn't thinking. But it's the quote I sent you from that movie I watched.
Oh, yes.
And it kind of feeds into this, and it kind of made me think of an interesting question. But the quote was, "Stop thinking of it as a cure to have been given an enemy, or a curse to have been given an enemy in this life. It could be a blessing too. A wise man can gain more from his enemies than a fool from friends."
What was my response to
that? I'll tell you your response specifically. Your response specifically was, "An enemy that's better than you forces you to improve upon yourself much more than a friend that tells you you're good enough."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's better to have
basically
competition.
Truth.
Yeah,
it's like truth. You can't run from the truth, which is just, he's better than me.
Yeah,
I have to get better.
Yes, exactly. Like, yeah. I'd much rather have competition that's better than me instead of kind of like this guy too famous.
Yeah, I gotta. Dude, I'm telling you, dude. I've just been going off, man.
Have you gone to your settings?
I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it's much better to have like competition that forces you to improve rather than like teammates, but maybe not the best teammates that are like this is what I like. Here, Leo. This is what I like about B team. There's always like pressure. Like we're always like shit talking. We're always like forcing each other to get better. So there's always like a force type of but it's not unhealthy to me, at least. It's not not unhealthy, but there's always like pressure to improve, whereas like kind of a lot of people have their friend group and it's like a lot of like yes men or like just like complacent maybe, which is not good. That's not how you get better. But
it made me think of a very interesting question I asked myself. I was like, I would agree rivalries are good and having an enemy is good.
Absolutely.
I agree 1,000%. But then I was like, would that fall into you comparing yourself to someone else?
Well, I mean,
I have an answer for it, but I'm curious what.
I mean, it definitely forces you. You definitely compare yourself to them, but This also it is tough. It is tough. Yeah, this also reminds me of something that like Jojo was telling me about a little bit. He was like, I think we were having a conversation and he overheard us, and we're like, yeah, man, like people on gear just kind of like, what am I supposed to do?
I remember this conversation.
It's like, what am I supposed to do?
He sees it as like a new puzzle.
Like a new puzzle, yeah. There's always a way to beat them.
Yes.
Right? You just have to, it's a matter of finding a way to beat them. You know, maybe they're stronger, bigger, fucking everything. They're on gear, whatever. But also, like, subconsciously, you're kind of already giving yourself an excuse to lose, or like an excuse to lose. If you do lose, you're like, well, he was on steroids.
Yeah.
Well, what if I didn't give myself that excuse to lose? And maybe I would have performed a little bit better.
That's true.
And since my last few matches, I've been thinking about that a lot, and I think I'm gonna use that, try to like kind of negate that.
That's good. I need to do that too.
Yeah,
I'm a victim of that.
Oh, for sure.
Being like, oh, I'm natural.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's like, it's just like, you can't use it as an excuse.
You can't. The excuse is validated, but it's not if you want to be a champion.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be a champion, you have to twist and change your thoughts to benefit you. You have to. And
Absolutely.
so whether it's validated or not, like, well, he is on steroids, he is stronger than you. It's like, okay, well, that's not going to help me.
Yeah.
Like, no shit.
Yeah.
No shit, he's stronger than me. But
what
can we do? I like what the Stoics say a lot from the book I read, Marcus Aurelius. It's like, worry about the things that you can change.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't change whether he's on steroids or not, so who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I like that. But I guess with the rivalry thing too is you can want to beat someone, doesn't necessarily mean you compare yourself to them, right? Because from that movie, I'm just going to say the movie. From the movie,
right into snack time.
Right to snack time. I'm hungry.
I'm not mad about it. This is a good snack.
The movie Rush. There's a movie called Rush. I watched it 2 nights ago. I recommended to Jay. He'd already seen it, so it made a perfect topic of discussion for the podcast.
Good movie.
Those two characters in the movie, they wanted to beat each other, but they never really compared each other to each other because they lived completely different lifestyles. One was a partier, one wasn't.
Yeah.
He didn't look at it and be like, well, should I party? They both never doubted their lifestyle one bit.
Yep.
Like, they were kind of like, this is how I am, blah, blah.
I think content with their lifestyle. Never second guess.
I think if you have a rivalry, you can want to beat someone. I want to beat that guy. I want to be on top of the podium, not him. But you can still compare yourself to yourself yesterday. You know what I mean? I think you can still play the two together.
Yeah. It's that movie is very interesting because it's very relatable in a lot of aspects.
Good movie.
Very good movie. But it's like you mentioned, one is like a partier, and then the other guy is like a perfectionist almost.
Perfectionist. That's a good way to describe him.
And I was talking to Liam about this. Mm-hmm. I think after our conversation with the movie, he was talking about steroids came up again, of course. This happens in jiu-jitsu all the time. Something about, I'm going to do steroids, and then he was like, I was like, I would never want to do it while I'm competing. He was like, would you ever do steroids like ever in your life? And I was like, maybe like when I need testosterone, like when I'm in my like 50s or 60s, whenever, but never in my competitive career would I do like steroids.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what, like, he was like, it's almost like, where are your values? Because don't you want to be ADCC champion? And I was like, of course I do, but I'm not willing to like risk my life for.
You're not willing to sell your morals.
Yeah,
like
you morals
or for your values.
Yes,
Your morals and values are written in stone.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how else to explain it. Really, it's just like I want to do everything in my capabilities to become an ADCC champion, and like everything aside from steroids. Really, it's just because like I see it as not good. And even if I did win ADCC, but I was on steroids, I would never be able to like be like, I'm an ADCC champion. I would always think, could I have done it without steroids?
Yeah, like I couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
So I had to resort to this.
That would haunt me for the rest of my life.
Interesting.
Like, yeah.
It's a very tough discussion because it's just like in the movie Rush. It's like the perfectionist in the movie is his name is Nicky. Like, I think he was German, right? Some German
I believe so. Yeah.
He was perfectionist, but he was never willing to put his life on the line for the win.
Yeah.
Where I think his name was James Hunt.
Yes.
This movie's based on a true story, by the way.
Yeah.
It's where James Hunt was. He's like, I'll risk my life for the win.
Yeah.
Other guy said, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But they were both world champions. They were both the best in their own right.
Yep.
James Hunt eventually died. He only won one world title.
Yeah,
Nicky went on to win multiple.
Yeah.
So it's like, who is right in the way of thinking? And it's like, you have to respect both of them.
Yeah.
Because they both stood by the values that they set for themselves.
Yeah.
James Hunt was like, no matter what, when it comes down time to risk my life for the win, I will do it no matter what.
Wow.
Nicky, on the opposite hand, he's like, when it comes down to it, I want to be the best in the world, but if it means risking my life, I won't do that because to me, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let anyone change his values.
Yeah.
That you have to respect. When a man stands by his values, I respect that more than anything. To be honest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Very interesting movie. That makes me, just talking about it makes me want to rewatch it. But
Yeah.
As this guy wiggles and we'll talk about the movie.
Jay's been hyping this snack up for like 3 days now.
This is
like
good.
This one.
So this is only from Texas, I believe. You can only get it from Central Market.
Oh,
I believe. So it's
people are gonna put in the comments like all these pictures of it at Walmart, Target.
It's part of their bakery section, right? They do muffins. You had their very berry blue muffin.
That was
very blueberry muffin, whatever. That shit's good.
That's where we also got the peppermint.
Oh yes,
chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah.
That shit's good. But these are cookies, but a very specific type of cookie.
Ooh.
It is like a brownie cookie. So it's like a brownie crisp. So imagine if you like brownies and you specifically like the outer edge of a brownie, this is the entire thing.
Really?
It's just the outer edge.
I will say, guys, I love how some way,
Jim,
somehow,
you want one? Sure. Let's go.
I love how some way, somehow, we all came to an agreement that Jay has to give me a nice, yummy snack every episode. And all I have to do is recommend a movie. I love that we've come to that conclusion.
Grab that list. Grab that paper.
I love that all I have to do is be like, hey, watch Rush. Anyway, this is a great cookie.
Thanks for the cookie. This stuff is good stuff. This gives me an excuse to eat unhealthy food.
All right. First bite, guys. Wow.
It's exactly what I explained.
Yeah. You explained it perfectly.
It's amazing. If you guys are in Texas or you have a Central Market near you, get this cookie. It's I'm going
to have to show my girl this. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Y'all sit back. Take about 3-minute break.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit here and enjoy this.
And now time for the sponsors.
yeah. Go ahead, I'm going to finish this cookie real quick.
I'm going to hold it some, okay?
You have to put it all the way in.
Okay. Just breathe out if...
Mom, can you just do it?
I know I shouldn't curse in front of my mom, but cauliflower ear sucks. I use Caulibuds ear magnets. I really wish I would have had these magnets, but my ears were messed up. These keep my cauliflower ear at bay. They're the original and best quality cauliflower ear magnets on the market. Step 1, drain your ear. Step 2, pick your buds. Step 3, put them on your ear. Make the right decision. Invest in these Caulibuds so your ears don't look like chicken nuggets like mine. Check them out on Amazon or Caulibuds.com. Add ears. Train with your buds.
Juce Organic's powders are certified USDA organic, 100% vegan, non-GMO, dairy-free,
gluten-free, and soy-free.
We have a wide range of products that are here to support your health needs. Our products are designed to boost energy, enhance endurance, and aid in muscle recovery. Packed with organic superfoods, Juice helps fuel your body with intense training and quick recovery.
Juice Sport Greens is an all-in-one greens supplement with 7 essential organic components, consisting of greens, antioxidants, protein, probiotics, mushrooms, and fiber to help promote a strong and healthy body. And don't forget to use code DAWG25 to get 25% off all of their products.
Check out Petwear Code today for a personalized touch that your furry friend will love. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on this. Happy tails, everyone.
Use code DAWG20 for 20% off. No, this is freaking really, really good. Is there raisin in this?
I don't think so. I think it's just it even like sticks to your cheese. It's so good.
Does,
I love it.
I love it.
Man.
All right. Well,
Also Rush.
Yes. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you've seen it, watch it again. And now this time, when you're watching it again, think about what we have discussed just now. It's a whole different movie. You look at it that way.
I agree.
Great movie. But I like too the surface level of that movie. Like the surface message was like, you can learn from your enemies. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Why is he beat? Like when he beats me, why'd he beat me? And when I beat him, he looks at you and asks why. Why are you able to beat him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love that quote, man. A wise man will learn more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. I love it.
He said
He said that in the movie.
oh really?
Nicky did.
Nicky, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
He told James too, but at the end he was like, I like how I told y'all to watch it. I'm telling you the whole movie. But, at the end, he's like, I'm gonna take some time off and party, and like indulge in my victory. And he's like, why?
Why would he do so?
Well, because you get back to work.
Yeah.
And because he wants him to get back to work.
Yeah.
Because because he needs that
Yeah.
drive. And
push,
he goes like I'll see you next year. Like it's right back into
Yeah.
it. Let's go. And then he went on to die from overdose of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of frustrating how guys like that can like just be at the top.
At the top.
They can live that
It's
lifestyle and be at the top.
But I would say, I don't know. With someone like that, I feel like they don't have regrets, but maybe he does wish he was still alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe when he's up in heaven or hell, wherever he's
Yeah.
at, he's just like, maybe I would have liked to live at least 5 more years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
Seen
Maybe
that race car drop
yeah,
out one more time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe I shouldn't have did all those steroids.
Yeah. Blow my heart out.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fucking hell, man. Yeah. I am not one that's willing to take years off of my life for for gold.
And it's not because I'd say,
It's not because you don't want it.
yeah, so you're passionate. I was like, bitch, I've been doing this for fucking 18 years.
Yeah.
I get up every morning and my body cracks.
Yeah.
And I still get in there. Like,
Yeah.
and I want to be able to do that until I die because I love it that much. I don't just want to win the medal and then I'm so crippled and my heart's bad or whatever, and I can't do it anymore, or I can't teach my son how to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I love it so much to the point where I want it to be something I do until I die.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I think even when I'm done from competition, I'll definitely still train every day.
Oh yeah.
But that'll just be like,
You keep saying something that bothers me.
such as,
You keep saying I don't want kids.
oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That you mean that?
I mean, as of right now, yeah, I don't want kids.
Okay.
There's a lot of there's so many things that play a part in this. It's just like,
The only reason why it bothers me because I think you'd be a good dad.
I appreciate that.
That's why
I
it bothers
appreciate that. The only reason I would have kids right now is so they could call you their uncle.
It's Uncle J-Dog.
Yeah, Uncle J-Dog. Why is he your uncle if he's not your brother?
Oh yeah, those memes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want kids.
What do you think that is?
Because
if you want to talk on it.
No, for sure, yeah. Because, well, one, finding a woman nowadays.
You need a woman to have a child.
Yeah. That I'm scared of those things. No, but like finding a woman that's actually capable of taking care of a kid, raising a kid that I would prefer. You need a dynamic between the overbearing mother and the father that's gonna fucking like push you a little bit. You need a little bit of that. So first step, finding a woman that's capable of doing so. Finding a woman nowadays that's capable of cooking a meal, that's fucking hard. That's hard. But I don't need any of these things. I'm self-sustainable. I can cook my own meals. I do my own laundry. I rely on nobody except for Nicky Rod for staying in his house. Yeah, but I think you need that as a mother. I wouldn't want, like, if I had a wife, I wouldn't want her working or anything. I would want to be at the point where I can, like, have everything covered.
You want her to raise your children.
Exactly. I want her sole goal to be to raise the kids. And it's
a lot of trust.
A lot of trust.
To leave someone for, I mean, it's both of y'all's kids.
For sure, yeah.
But it's like you have to make sure that her intentions are the same as yours.
Yeah. So that's a long, like, just learning who a person is takes a long time. Woman is the first issue. I have to be financially stable, enough to be able to raise a kid. What else? It's a lot of work.
It is.
Also, like, I have a lot of time. I have goals, and I feel like I can compete in jiu-jitsu maybe until I'm like 35 or 40, and then probably retire around that time. So it's like I don't want any distractions, really. Like, maybe a woman, but I would only have a woman in my life to, like, help me. Like, I don't want to use you, but I don't want you to get in my way.
You know what's a good example of that?
What?
From the movie Rush. I don't know if you remember how long it's been since you watched it, but Nikki's wife was like the perfect example of what a wife should be in that movie.
Yeah, she was like a good wife.
She stayed out of the way.
Yes.
Like, she stayed out of the way until she felt like she could intervene.
Yeah.
And if he was like not right now, or because he was dealing with a lot in the movie, and he burned his whole face off, and his wife stayed with him.
Yeah. And
that's why he pulled out of the race, I feel like, at the end, because she was worth it at that point.
Yeah.
She was a good example of a wife in that movie.
Yeah. And then the other guy's just fucking out banging.
He's with a bunch of girls
chicks,
who
can't cook their own meal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would not be a good mother.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're describing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like that first step alone is fucking difficult. And I don't really have time to, like, search for a woman to, like, bear my children. It's like I'm busy trying to get better and improve my life. Doing it for two people is going to be difficult. Yeah. So, well, if something happens, I stumble across a woman that I can see, then hey, maybe.
Just stumbles across a woman.
Yeah, I cannot. I mean,
I like you. Come here.
I like you. Can stay around. Most jiu-jitsu women, like, aren't the, like, most ideal for a lot of reasons. But
for a lot of reasons. Where would you say? Where would J-Rod say, if you had to look for, you think, the perfect woman? Where would you tell someone to look?
For a woman.
Yeah. Where would you think you'd have to look for, like, a good... Obviously, you wouldn't go to the club.
Like Target or church.
Target or church.
Yeah.
That's good.
And not jiu-jitsu practice.
Jay just goes to Target and just stands in the bakery section and stands on there all day.
Lost.
And he comes by and is like, hey. Right there in the cooking section.
Fuck. I was like, you know how to use one of these things?
Yeah, hey. Auditioning.
Fucking hell. So that was the quote and the movie. It all connects. That was a quote from yesterday.
Nope.
What else? Was there another quote that I sent you or something?
I have another quote in mind that I want to talk about.
Let's go over it.
I don't know if you want. Okay.
No, let's hear yours.
Okay. I told you this one, and I want to talk more about this one as well. I know, dude. I might actually go back tonight.
So good.
The quote. What was it? I'm gonna try and remember it first. The goals you said would make you happy, you've already achieved. That shout out from that's I didn't come up with that, by the way. That was a quote from another podcast I heard, but I liked it because it made me think, like, how do I perceive that quote? And it was very interesting when I heard it. I was like, I wish I could shout out the person's name. It's the guy, James's friend.
Yeah.
He
got a cool accent.
Yes, yeah. I heard him say that quote on his podcast. And I was like, damn, that's so true. Everyone has that goal in their life where, like, man, if I can just get that, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
It's like, you've already achieved goals you said would make you happy.
Yeah. That is true.
Like,
But it's like, at the same time, it's always good to, like in Rush at the fucking end of the movie, the guy's like, I'm ready for the next season, while the other guy is ready to go party. It's like, it's good to acknowledge the achievements, but don't like rely on it. Cause like, I feel like the guy that I fought in region finals that ended up he placed second at States that year. The next year he placed like way lower. Yeah. And I was like, man, this guy's like could be way better than that. Why? How is he not improving? Mm-hmm. You know? And it's a matter of like, he achieved his goal and he relaxed.
Yeah.
You can't take your foot off the gas if you want to like continue improving.
At one point, I guess let's first answer this question with you personally, and then answer it just in general. At what point do you let your foot off the gas? At what point? This is what I struggle with. It's like, if you feel like you're never going to be content, right? Like, oh, I won this world title. I won that match. I beat that guy. Okay, the next one. All right, let's go to the next one. If the thought of always the next one is what keeps you going, when is enough? Or when do you feel like it's time for you to stop? What else are you going to look forward to? Like, how do you make that decision?
It's tough. I think it's going to be tough for all of us.
Yeah.
Because you even see it in MMA where like guys retire over and over and over again. And then all these guys that are retired, one year, however long later, they're like, oh, I'm coming back. Mm-hmm. And then their careers like kind of downhill at that point. Yeah. A lot of times, at least, they come back from retirement. They're not the same. It's just like, it's tough to say. I think, like, I don't necessarily have, like, okay, yes, I want to be an ADCC champion, but it isn't like the end-all be-all. The end-all be-all is becoming like the best version of myself. So it's like the best grappler I can be by the time I'm 35, 40 years old, and then I'll let off. But aside from that, it's like I lose all my matches. I don't care about like beating people. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just I'm happy to compete. I like my match with Mika. That was awesome. Yeah. I loved that match. Yeah. That was like the most fun I've had competing in a very long time.
That's good.
Like constant action. Like a guy like we didn't go back and forth. It was fourth from him, but I was like, it was just like Matrix level shit.
Yeah, you were like you were in the match the whole time.
I was there. I had to be there. Also, I was gonna get my fucking arm ripped off.
Yeah, if you weren't there, you'd been submitted.
Yeah, but it's like there's a lot of like in jiu-jitsu, there's a lot of like just like stalling or stalemates almost, or just like someone mounts someone and they just chill there for like 3 minutes. It's like I feel like the whole match were fucking it was moving. Yeah, 15 minutes of just movement. But yeah, I live for like that more than achieving like an ultimate goal of like winning ADCC.
Interesting.
Of course I want to win ADCC, but it's more of a high winning or like having matches like that. Yeah, I really enjoy that. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What about you?
to what question?
I guess what are you chasing?
Me personally, I love this discussion. I love it. Same here. It's like I want to be ACC champion, blah blah blah. But it does go deeper than that, because it's like I understand what you're saying as far as like that feeling. I think it's that feeling that's hard to let go of than it is like an actual medal.
Yeah.
It's that feeling of like, man, when I stop, I'm scared that feeling won't be there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
everyone's kind of chasing that.
Yeah,
That
it's
feeling,
like that
yeah.
feeling. It's like that edge you can always have on your shoulder, that chip on your shoulder of like just feel like you're just purpose.
Yeah,
you feel like you have a purpose,
like driven.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel like whether I'm winning or losing, I have a purpose.
Yeah.
If anything, losing makes me feel like I have more of a purpose because I have to prove myself now.
Yeah.
So it's like every day, if I have that purpose, then winning and losing doesn't affect me, and I realize, it scares me to think the day I stop, I will no longer have a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's concerning.
Yeah, that's the part that scares me. That's like, it's hard to say like, oh, I'm done, or my body can't take anymore. It's like, fuck, who will I be?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing if you take such a surface level trait about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fucking sport you do.
Yeah.
And you think if you take away your sport and you feel like you're nothing, then you're probably nothing. It's not good. You should be something without it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I focus so much on being a good person.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I think you have to like take what you're doing now and try to like segue into something else you can do later in life. Like
You have to find a new purpose.
Find a new purpose. Yeah, create a new business off of like the name you grow in the sport, and then use that to market or do whatever and move on to the next thing. 'Cause like people do work a regular 9 to 5, work however long, 50, 60 years, retire, and then they just like do nothing. I feel like, fuck. Like,
No wonder why you're depressed, dude.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that, like you just said, like they were star quarterback, football team, whatever, and then they go into a 9 to 5 job and they've lost that purpose.
Yeah.
It's hard if like you have a purpose in a 9 to 5 job. It's hard. I've worked 9 to 5 jobs. I know it's like you have no purpose. You're just there.
Yeah,
You're just a part on the machine.
Yeah.
So you get lost. I think men specifically have to have more of a purpose than women.
I agree.
I think women somehow they have like the ability to be happy without feeling like they need a purpose.
Yeah.
Even though I think a woman's purpose, I mean, maybe it's just sexist, I don't know, but I think a woman's purpose is obviously to bear children, or you wouldn't have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
So I think bearing children make women happy, and I feel like they fulfilled their purpose. But for men, I feel like it's got to be a conquest. If you're not on some sort of conquest, then you feel lost.
The thrill of the chase.
Yes, you have to be chasing something, or you will diminish.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck, that's scary.
Yeah.
That is scary.
I have that feeling. You can ask my girlfriend. There's days where it's like she would think I'm on like a man period.
Yeah.
Because I'm just bothered for some reason, because I feel like I'm not. Like I gotta chase something. You know what I mean? Like, where is it at? Like, I'll lose sight of it sometimes, and it bothers me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I guess we always kind of need some sort of competition.
Yes.
And at least it'll be competition for the next, few years until we're done with jiu-jitsu. But fuck, then what?
For me personally, it's going to be business.
Yeah.
Whenever I'd like to open up my own school, own set of gyms, it's going to be, I want to create the best gym ever.
Yeah.
I want to create world champions. I want to help other people achieve goals that I achieved and achieve goals that I couldn't achieve.
Yeah.
And it starts to become who's the better gym. That's how I'm going to direct mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to be obsessed with that when the time comes.
That's good. That's good. So you'll find competition
I'll find competition somewhere else. Now I'll understand now. Like when the coaches like the coaches live through their athletes, and it's like, you're damn right they do.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
they do.
Yeah, my coach was a drunk. He didn't care.
He didn't care about me.
I probably would have been way better if, all right, so I had one coach that I think he came my sophomore year, and from then on out, he was like really just guiding me and like two other guys that were like actually there to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other coaches and the other like wrestlers they were just there. Like they were just there for the like activity. They weren't like actually like chasing something.
Yep.
Like we were this was our lives really at the time. And fuck that. It's so crazy. I think we talked about this, just like the amount of shit that has happened for like us all to lead to this very moment.
It's crazy.
Like the amount of decisions. Fuck.
It's crazy.
That's wild, man. Wild. I probably wouldn't have if I just didn't watch a mountain biking video. I would still have my collarbone.
You still have your collarbone intact. But yeah, that whole, I guess we kind of veered off the track a little bit. But it originated from the quote.
From the Rush quote, or
no, it was the whatever goals you said would make you happy, you've already achieved.
Yes, yeah.
So that's back on that quote. It was like, you can't make goals like this specific thing. Like, man, when I accomplish this, I'm going to be happy. I think it's the rush. It's the rush of chasing something.
It's a pursuit.
The pursuit, I think, that will always make you happy. So the goal is not to always have I guess the goal isn't to always achieve a goal. The goal should be to at least be always chasing a goal.
Yes.
And if you're always chasing a goal, then ultimately you'll always be happy.
Yes,
you'll feel fulfilled. Yes. I think that's the answer.
It's a good feeling, that like fulfillment, like you have purpose.
Dude, when you have, in wrestling in high school, coaches made it, like my life was wrestling, which made it feel like anytime I was on the mat, it was like for a purpose. Like at the beginning of even every season, dude, like you'd have, a plaque that said state champ, and they'd have your name on it, even though you're not a state champ yet. Like that's my purpose.
Fuck.
Like that's what I gotta get. I gotta get it. And so, dude, it just made everything you do just way more fulfilling, dude. Yeah. You'd run 2 miles, you'd be tired, man. But when you'd see that name on your plaque and you felt like you had a purpose, dude, you fucking ran that 2 miles. Yeah. It was easy. It was so easy.
Yeah, man. It was. I didn't really have like much, I guess, like competition in the room growing up. So I feel like
that's hard.
Yeah, I would have like in club wrestling and Seagull wrestling, where I was wrestling off season. There was a fuck ton of competition. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, like in during the season, it wasn't much. Mm-hmm. It was kind of frustrating, but work with what I had. I feel like I wonder where I would have been or what I could have achieved if I was with like a different program.
Probably more.
Yeah, if I was in North Jersey, I probably would have been, being young and hypnotized. I probably would have been on steroids. That's what all those fucking North Jersey guys do. Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting though, after having the discussion that we've had today, it made me think, you always hear people say, when you have kids, your life changes. Like when you have kids, your life's better, blah, 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 blah. I really think what it is people lose their purpose or their why in life. And then when they have kids, they have a new purpose.
Yeah.
Right? They live through their kids. So now like, their kid winning a state title is like them winning a state title again. They have a purpose again. Yeah. So when they have a kid, it's probably more selfish than you think. It's like it becomes more. It's still more. I still think it's about you still. When you have a kid.
Absolutely.
You have a new purpose. So it's like a new. You're like life thrown back into you. Like there's a purpose now. Yeah. You have to win a state title, or you have to become a doctor. Yes. And it brings you back to life. So.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Imagine like. I guess it's not a bad way to look at things, but like maybe you weren't able to achieve something, but your kid does. That's good. And like people always ask Nikki Rod. They were like, "Oh, are you jealous that your brother, like I beat his record for most wins, and I beat all the records in the school, by the way.
That, Nikki?
But
Yeah.
he ran in the garage,
Bust down the door. Sorry.
Bro, he pummeled you when we were playing spike ball.
Yeah, dude came out. Dude, I was like running for the ball. I saw all the light disappear from the room. I was just turned around. You know, he's like over my shoulder, just like a blanket. I was just like, ah, like Godzilla in a movie. I just like hunkered down, just like maybe he'll pass over me.
Fucking hell. But fuck, what were we talking about? Nicky Rod.
If he was jealous of you beating his record.
Yeah, people always asked Nicky Rod if people were jealous of me surpassing his like win streak or whatever, win record. And it's just like perspective. Like he always wanted better for me. So it was like, obviously a healthy relationship. He always like pushed me to be better. All right, so last podcast we were talking about, you told a story about a wrestler drank the soda, coach looked over the shoulder. I was thinking about that the night after we had that podcast, and Nicky Rod would do something similar to me every single day. It was in the summer in middle school. One of the years in middle school, I started lifting, but like I like really got into it for like a few weeks, and then I like started kind of like fucking off. And every time he would always lift in the morning, I would lift at night. Every time I would just be like playing video games in my room, he would walk by and he's like, "You lift yet? You lift today?" And I was like, "No, not yet." And he's like, And they would just walk into his room.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that shit got me every single time.
Yep.
Every single time. I would immediately turn off fucking Fortnite,
Yep.
and get into the basement and start fucking like just curling weights,
Yeah.
doing whatever. But
I love that, dude.
yeah.
That's how you know you have the right stuff in you.
Yeah.
When all a person has to do is just be like, "Do you lift today?" It's like, nice.
Yeah.
And that just bothers you, because that bothers me too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I remember when I said this a few episodes ago, but when Kieran was like, "How'd you feel about that match?" And I was like, "I feel embarrassed." He's like, "You should be."
Yeah.
That's all it took for me to be like, "Yeah, he's right."
Yeah, he is
fucking
right. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I wasn't like, "Oh, what a dickhead."
Yeah.
Like it was like, he's fucking right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Those are the type of people you need around you.
Yes.
Just to like give you a little.
I think the only way I'm sure a lot of y'all listening to this right now, you should be always looking for advice from everybody. But when you tell someone advice, or you tell someone the truth and it hurts them, or they respond with, "Well, he's a dick," it's because you don't do enough self-reflecting. There's a reason why all that stuff does not bother me, because I've already told myself it. You know what I mean? I've already I was already saying out loud, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
So he said, "You should be." He's not wrong, because I've already accepted to myself that I should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
So if you're constantly self-reflecting, there's no truth or advice that will hurt you.
Yeah.
Because you know the truth. You know what I mean? I think if you have good self-reflection in your life, you take advice a lot better,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
When you don't, you get emotional.
You get emotional, exactly. If you're not self-reflecting, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed. It's like that reminded me of what's that movie? Whiplash.
Oh God, it's another good movie.
Whiplash. I'm embarrassed.
You actually recommended
did?
me that movie. Yes.
Did you watch it?
Fuck yeah, watch it.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that movie was amazing.
Yeah, good movie. I remember. All right, so this kind of leads into the stuff we were talking about. It is beautiful in a way, because he was willing to risk everything to become the best.
Mm-hmm.
He risked his life. He got into a car crash. He risked his life. He risked fucking, I don't know, embarrassment, being embarrassed from the crowd, all that shit. He risked a girlfriend. He got really a girlfriend.
Yep.
Same. And we were talking to Sal about this, or I was talking to Sal about this, and he was like, "Dude, that movie's terrible. He lost everything he had."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And this kind of like, I wanted to ask you this a while ago. It kind of relates to, I guess it relates to Rush in a way as well. Mm-hmm. Like willing to risk everything and do everything you possibly can to achieve this goal. And we say it's beautiful. And then other people that we're talking about this movie, we say it's beautiful. And they're like, okay, then why aren't you willing to do steroids? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't know.
I know the answer.
What's the answer?
It's beautiful. What on the movie Whiplash, the extent he went to achieve his goal, because once again I think it goes back to, okay, he risked everything, and we're like, wow, that's sick, and then they're like, well, why don't you do steroids? Well, it's not just that he risked everything. He made it clear that he was willing to risk everything, and it was the fact that he never went back on that is what made it beautiful.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Interesting, yeah.
Like, not just the act of him risking everything, but he made it clear, I will risk everything before he started. Yeah. And to see him never break on not risking everything, that's what catches my attention.
Interesting.
Right? It's sticking true to your word to yourself.
Yeah.
I think is what really makes it.
Yeah.
For me, like, damn, that's beautiful.
Yeah. From the start, too.
From the start, you could already tell he's in that fucking room.
Yeah.
You already tell he's willing to risk it all.
Yeah. He was like, what did he tell the girl? He was like,
Dude,
he's like, I'm gonna watch that movie again. I'm gonna be great, and you're not.
That movie was awesome, man. His fingers are bleeding.
Yes.
He's just like, ah. Yeah. At the ending, I've told so many people to watch that movie ever since you told me, and I watched it.
That's crazy. You never watched that movie before me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's one. That's never gonna happen.
Never gonna happen again. Some people didn't understand the ending. They're like, the ending was horrible. I was like, I loved the ending, dude. I loved the ending, man. And they're like, why? It's like, because you just got to understand what just happened there, right? He tried to make a mockery out of the guy by giving him the wrong songs, right? He walks away. He's about to quit, which at the beginning of the movie, he already made clear that he was willing to do anything. It's like, but now you're not willing to feel embarrassment. You're about to go back on your word on yourself, but then he stopped himself. He goes back out there and just starts fucking playing. And then the teacher, if I'm not mistaken, it ends with he starts playing, and he looks back and he just like smiles, right?
He like he starts playing. The ending is very long from the point where he starts walking away.
I'm talking about the end when the credits roll.
So from the moment when he is walking out, speaks to his dad, and then comes back and sits down and starts playing, not in correlation with the rest of the people. He starts playing
on his own. Yep.
It's very long.
Yes.
It's like two of their songs long or something.
And he played Whiplash.
Yes.
He played the song Whiplash.
So he played
in the movie, it was like the hardest song to be able to get down right.
So they play. He starts playing the song, and then he like cues the entire fucking orchestra, or whatever the fuck it is, in. After the teacher, like kind of like allows it to happen almost.
The teacher was kind of like, because when he got to the solo, when he's just going by himself, the teacher almost stopped to see if he was going to mess up, because he'd always mess up in class, and it was the hardest one to get down. And he's playing Whiplash, and the teacher just stops, and he just nailing it perfect. He looks up at him, and the teacher looks back, and he just smiles, and then the movie cuts off.
Yeah,
because at that point in the fucking movie, that teacher respected him.
Yeah.
He respected him. No matter if they hated each other, no matter if he was like, fuck you, you're a horrible teacher, or you're a horrible student, he respected him.
Yeah.
Like, you're a fucking stud. Right? Like that. And dude, that just gave me chill bumps all over my body. I was just like, he never went back on his word. Right? And so back to the question, like, why aren't you willing to do steroids? It's like, well, from the beginning, I have set values to myself, and I've told myself, this is what I want, and this is how I'm going to do it. I want an ADCC title, and this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And if you stick to that and don't fold, then that demands respect.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the movie shows.
Yeah, and I told I don't know if I said this on the podcast yet, but when I was talking to Liam, I was like, and even if at this point I'm like so committed to not doing anything, not doing any sort of steroids or anything, if I did do steroids and I won ADCC, I would never ever be capable of like taking a breather and just like accepting like or appreciating that I won ADCC, because I would always like second guess myself, like, would I be capable of doing such a thing without steroids?
Yeah.
And I would never be able to like just like not think about that really.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. But then you have like just all the juice monkeys winning ADCC. So
yeah, there's like, see, but then it's like the people who take steroids, it's like, well, from the get-go, if you said you were willing to do anything and you're risking your life now, I disagree with what you're doing, but I have to respect it in some sort of way.
yes,
Right?
absolutely.
I do respect in a way, if you're willing to risk your life. Now, if I knew that you said you weren't willing to risk your life ever, and then you do, you've gone back on your word.
Yeah.
You're changing up your values. I don't respect that. But if from the get-go you're like, I'm willing to do anything, and you start taking steroids, hey, I wouldn't do that, but hats off to you. You're sticking to what you said.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
So
I'm willing to take 5 years off of my life to fucking achieve this goal. That is
yeah.
respectable. Not me.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
from
I think it's not the right thing to do. Me personally,
yeah.
I think you should value your life more than a gold medal. And if not, then I think it's a possibility you could be a shallow human.
Yeah.
Because you put all your value into this object instead of yourself.
Yeah.
But I respect anyone who's willing to go to distance and risk their life if that's what they've committed to from the beginning.
Yeah. Interesting. It's like, I mean, also there are like glimpses of hope for people like us. You know?
Yeah.
There are natural athletes that can achieve such a thing. This one's gonna hurt people. Nicky Rod is a natural athlete, and he's gone silver at ADCC twice. So he alone gives me hope. He gives me hope for like for most things. I didn't have hope in myself when I was thinking about doing jiu-jitsu, because I was like, Nicky Rod was able to achieve all these things while like in such a short period of time because he's a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And then I did it at 88. And I was like,
yeah.
oh shit, this is possible. And then you see Cade Rotolo, 77, natural athlete, wins 77 with all subs. And he's a natural athlete. That gives me hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
That gives me hope.
You think they're natural?
The Rotolo brothers.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Believe so?
Do you?
I did until one Instagram post.
Oh, really? What
Yeah.
Instagram post?
I saw something. They came out and they posted. They went something. They posted it. And normally when someone posts, kind of like making themselves look vulnerable, they're trying to cover up the truth that might come out in the future. But they're saying something like they did a steroid test and being like, yeah, we're not on steroids because their test levels were like 300. Like their test levels were like 400 under the natural limit. And they're like, see, we're not on steroids. And a bunch of people were in the comments and they're like, yeah, that's what happens when you get on steroids. Like when you come off, your test levels are way below what they're supposed to be. And they're like boasting about how their levels are so low. And it's like, bro, if your levels are that low, you wouldn't be out practicing every day winning ACC titles. Like you'd be kind of broke. Like it was an absurd number. It was like 300 or 400.
Yeah.
And the average is like 600 to like 1,200 something like, or like 1,000 something like that.
Interesting.
So every time I saw that, I was like, that was a little weird.
Yeah,
I wouldn't expect their test levels to be that low unless they've been on something.
I feel like my test levels might be pretty low.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like my testosterone might be. This is crazy, right?
Yeah. It's not. There's no way it can.
Really?
No, you gain weight and muscle pretty normally. Like it's.
I don't know.
Flex your forearms real quick.
My forearms.
Give us a little flex. Is that low testosterone? Come on, guys. Come on.
The right one's way more vascular.
Oh boy.
I wonder why. Yeah, I think Nicky Ryan, when he got his blood test done like a long time ago, I think his was at like 200.
What?
Yeah, like naturally.
Fuck.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That's.
But it also depends on like the time, like when they get their blood like drawn or whatever. Because Nicky Rod got his blood drawn, and they say like if you train and then get your, or you're supposed to take time off of training.
Really?
Because to get like a good reading on your test.
Is your test higher after training or lower?
Lower.
Really?
Yeah, that's what.
Your test is lower after training.
Yeah, it's like because you're not recovered. So like when you sleep, you're fully recovered. You wake up morning wood, rock hard.
Oh, that's
you're fully
true,
recovered.
That's true. You wake up.
Yeah, high test. Your test is highest in the morning, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't know that. All the tests straight to the fucking cock and balls.
right to the goodies. I wake up in the morning because my head starts to leave my pillow because when
start levitating.
I start levitating. I'm like, time to wake up.
Fuck. Sorry,
That's how I wake up. That's how the dogs wake up. I'm gonna start just like, must be morning. Time to get up. Start levitating. I completely am not touching the bed.
You're bouncing fully on your tip.
That's when I know it's time to get up. Oh my god!
Doing push-ups and shit.
Well, so how would you say, like, what would cause your testosterone to start to dip if it's at its highest in the morning? Is it working hard? Because you say
yeah.
So this is how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong. You wake up high test. You do stuff that's supposed to create high test, which is working out, lifting, but it lowers your test to then maximize what your test could be the next day.
I believe so.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Sunlight too. I think sunlight's a big thing.
vitamin D3.
I believe in sunlight hard, dude. Like, you know this already. I think if you get up in the morning,
sunglasses off.
Yeah, take the fucking sunglasses off.
No sunscreen.
Look right into the sun. Okay, the dog's orders.
Fuck. Yeah, I mean, I believe. Like, I don't know these. I haven't got my blood drawn in years. I'm terrified of it.
I need to. Dude,
I really should.
I haven't told you this, but my right ear is something wrong.
Why?
The past few days or past 2 months, it's felt like there's been a bug in my ear, like something moving in my ear, or like liquid moving in my ear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it can't be a bug because I've like done a lot of stuff, like nothing's coming out. Yeah. And just recently, dude, if I go into a hard scramble when I roll, my right ear starts killing me inside, like burning and sharp pain. And it's happened twice now. I've been like, I didn't want to show my emotions.
Yeah.
You know, I kept it intact. But I was like, fuck, my ear is like killing me. And when it hurts, it feels like there's like blood like moving around deep in my ear. And it's been doing that for like 3 weeks now. So anyways, I need to go to the doctor to get my blood work.
You need a doctor.
Yeah, dude. I was like, am I losing my hearing? Like, I don't know what it is, dude. But
or maybe a priest or something. Fuck. That's weird.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Me neither. So that just made me think of that.
Very, very concerning. You should really get this.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, blood work. I need to get my blood work.
Yeah, I also need my blood work done.
Curious what my test levels are.
Last time I got mine done, I was probably like 15 or something. I stood up, almost passed out, and I was like, I'm not doing this shit for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I did get my blood work done before my collarbone surgery. So like maybe a year ago, I did get my blood work drawn, but I was ready. I had juice on the side. I was fucking had a cookie and everything. I was ready. But yeah, blood work needs to be drawn. I haven't done I really wonder what my test is like. I think it's low.
Too.
I think it's low.
I'm like scared to check. I like don't want to check. I think it's slow, and I'm like, I'm a bitch.
Like, because I'm not a dog anymore.
I'm not a dog. Change the name. This is ridiculous.
Fucking hell. Yeah, kind of. It's concerning. It's scary either way. I'd rather just not know. I feel like.
Yeah. Like, my test is
I'm happy right now. I don't need to.
Yeah.
No, I feel fine right now. You feel okay aside from your ear?
Aside from my ear falling off, I feel pretty fine. I'm levitating.
Just cut it off.
I'm levitating in the mornings, so my body's working properly, I think.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I used to like. I think it's low because I think like. Within the past year, I've been able to, I've been more aware of this. So jerking off all the time is not healthy.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think sex lowers testosterone? I think I've
If
looked this
you
up
ask-
a while ago, but I don't remember what the answer was.
I don't know. If you ask Nicky Rod, he's like, bust 3 nuts a day and you're good, brother. He's like,
yeah, gotta have sex.
you gotta have it.
I just saw a video yesterday talking about how like these fighters will be like, I want to have sex for 4 weeks before my fight.
Oh, really?
And so come their fight, they're like amped up.
I don't know about that. I do 5 to 7 days.
Of what?
That'll boost your testosterone.
You think 5-7 days without sex will boost your testosterone?
Yeah. No ejaculation for 5 to 7 days.
I would assume holding off on sex and beating off and stuff. I would think that raises your test.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see I don't know. I feel fine now, and also I feel like it's healthy for your mental, because there's a lot of guys that are just like addicted to fucking porn.
Yeah.
And that is not good at all.
It's not good.
So it's like, why would I not like ease off? People say this boosts your testosterone. Why would I not just do that? Fucking hold off for fucking not jerk off every day, twice a day.
Yeah.
And just like be a normal person.
my philosophy is, without doing the research, why I would think that it boosts your testosterone not to have sex is like in the wild, most mammals have to perform or fight to get a female. And if you're not getting a female, it must mean you're losing.
Yeah.
So if you're not having sex, I would assume the body's reaction would be like, we need to raise your testosterone. Yeah. You need to be winning.
Stronger.
You get stronger, yeah, or something. That's my thought process.
Thought
process behind it.
Like the old fucking praying mantis.
Yes.
You know what they do?
They cut their heads off after sex, right?
Well, I don't.
Okay, maybe you weren't going there.
I think I've heard that one as well, but they fight for the woman, I believe. Or maybe they fight the woman after.
I know the woman cuts. If I'm not mistaken, the woman cuts the male's head off after sex.
Fuck.
Yeah, and the Black Widow as well. The Black Widow eats the male after they have sex. That's why their name is the Black Widow. Like a widow is like a woman without a husband.
Bro, there's a Black Widow that lives like right over here.
Behind the curtain.
Nah. Oh. in the rocks in the front yard.
Really?
There's one rock that just has a Black Widow there. Yeah.
I hate spiders.
Yeah. I hate spiders as well. God. I did not know Black Widows lived here, but they live specifically on this property. So
they're in the premises.
Yes. We can probably walk over there and see a Black Widow.
Really?
Yeah. Terrifying.
Oh, that scares me, man.
It's crazy that like that thing could kill you. That tiny little fucking guy.
Being killed by venom is like my fear.
Really?
What a bitch way to go out.
Why don't you just deal with it?
Well, just think about this little animal just touches you, and you're just sitting there just dead.
Don't even know.
And you can't fight back.
Yeah.
That's a pussy way to go out. Like you can't at least fight back.
Yeah.
You're just laying there. You're just paralyzed. You're like, fuck, I'll just die. I'm dead in 30 minutes. Yeah. Like that, dude. I would hate to go out that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I at least want to go out swinging.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, you could like squash the bug.
You're right. I could get revenge.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that answer. Yeah.
I killed you first.
Yeah. Next time,
yeah.
Doesn't matter now.
Doesn't matter.
Remember when I said, I was like, I want to kill an animal in all biomes?
Yeah.
I was going to go to the desert and just find a scorpion and be like, just fucking stomp on that thing.
Bro, I am scarred. Every time I go into the bathroom, I check in the same location if there's a scorpion there.
I would. I hate bugs.
Yeah.
If I see a cockroach, a cockroach, a spider, or any sort of like bug around the apartment or something like that, dude, if I can't find it, I will not go to bed until I find it. Like, it bothers me.
Yeah, I used to be so terrified. I mean, I'm still terrified of spiders, but it's I think there was one time I had to kill a spider in front of my ex at the time, or my girlfriend at the time, and I was like,
you had to buckle up for that one.
I had to buckle up. Yeah. I was able to kill it. Don't worry. But that changed me. That was character. Like throw it and ran away. Yeah, screamed.
That's what I did. There was this bug on the wall in my room, dude. That thing was huge to the point where like I caught it from like my peripheral vision, dude. I'm playing video games. I'm just like, I was like, what was that? I just saw this thing move. It was so big, dude. Like my side eye caught it. Yeah. Like, bro, like my brain was like, turn and look now. I was like, oh my God. This massive bug in the wall. I'm terrified of bugs, dude. Fuck. I will fight a fucking shark for a little bug. And I get this shoe. Like my girl's like, kill it. I'm like, I got it, babe. Calm down. Like, fuck. I look at it, dude. I didn't even get close. I just chucked that bitch, and it's just like way off. I was like, gah! And
didn't move.
It like bounces off the wall from like me hitting the wall so hard. Yeah. And it just like came at me. I was like, oh! Like that is like dove out the way. I was
fuck. I had an issue with that. At our last house, the woman would take trash and put it. So we have the garage door. We open up the garage door, and she would put trash right there, like lean it against the wall. And there was like 2 trash bags there. And I was like, all right, let me take the trash, bring it to the truck bed, because at the time we couldn't afford fucking trash. We would put it in Nicky Rod's truck bed and take it to B team. But I grab one trash bag, toss it in the bed, come back for the next one. I'm moving the next trash bag, and there's a massive, I'm talking like this big spider.
What? Show the camera. What?
I think it was a huntsman spider. I might be off. It was like
wolf spider.
Wolf spider, like some shit like that. Yeah.
Wolf spiders get big.
Massive fucking spider. Of course, I'm trembling.
Dude, when they bring their front legs up, they're just like, oh.
Nah. This guy was just there. He didn't move a fucking inch.
Not scared at all from you. Give a shit.
No, I was there fucking shaking in my fucking boots. I was like, I need a fucking weapon. Do we have a BB gun? Someone get a fucking shotgun instead. And I ended up getting like a broom, and I go to hit it on not on the soft end, because I was like, this motherfucker,
you're gonna eat it.
It's gonna eat the soft end. Yeah. I was like, I need something firm to kill this fucking guy. The exoskeleton, it was too strong.
This is the final boss.
This is the boss. And and I go to hit it. Of course I miss, and it starts trying to climb up the wall. It starts running,
it in my head.
and you can hear the.
Oh man!
It's like running towards the door.
Got some weight to it.
Tapping its fucking legs on.
When you hear it, dude, you got some weight to it. And you're just like, oh my God.
That shit, I still remember it right now.
It's making me quiver just thinking about it.
Don't worry, I killed him. He got too close to the door. I was like, hit him a few times. Yeah. Fuck, dude, that shit was terrifying.
You know what's weird? Do you think being around a woman lowers your testosterone?
I'm sure there's a possibility in that, yeah. Because there's women have their thing with where their periods like line up, right?
I think so.
That's
I know thing, right? I know when a woman is pregnant, hormones are released off from her body that like lowers your testosterone.
Interesting.
Because the reason why I brought that question up, because I feel like weirdly enough, whenever my girl is not around me, bugs don't bother me.
Oh really?
Isn't that weird? Like if I go to King's MMA, she normally goes with me, but at times I won't. If she's with me and there's a cricket, I'm like, oh God, like I get the broom and I sweep it off.
Yeah.
But when she's not there for some reason, I don't second guess, just grab it with my hand and throw it out.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know why that is.
Interesting. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure women, like if they stay together for extended periods of time, their periods start to line up.
Oh, women. I thought you were talking about man and woman. I think with women, yes.
Yeah.
I think they do start to line up together.
Interesting.
I'm not sure why that is, but
yeah. I guess we should probably start wrapping her up.
Yeah, dude. Even this one was going.
Yeah, this was going pretty fluidly.
I like this one.
Yes, good one. Final one of the month.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything I guess we kind of brought up sponsors will have ads for that stuff.
Yeah, we'll make separate videos for that.
We had snack time. We brought up our movies.
That cookie was good.
Right?
That cookie was good.
It's good stuff.
That's the best. It was hard to beat the popcorn because I
really?
love popcorn, but
interesting.
It beat it.
Yeah.
It beat the popcorn.
Yeah. It's good. It's like sticky.
Just perfect. The texture was really good.
Imagine that with a nice cold glass of milk.
I don't have to imagine. I'm about to go home and do it right now.
Fuck. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Doghouse.
J-Rod also gave me a black eye.
Yes. Yeah, we were scrapping, and Nikki Ryan was showing me the spazzy technique. Ended up not working, and I ended up poking my pookie in the face. But yeah, sorry about that.
No, it was good. I love it. It makes me look tougher.
Yeah, it is cool. It looks
like
cool. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Doghouse. It has been J-Rod and
J-Dog. See y'all next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Peace.